iPhone 14, iPhone 14 Plus, iPhone 14 Pro, and iPhone 14 Pro Max. Yes, there are 4 new iPhone 14s, but only 2 of them have this cool new always-on display. And then 2 have 6.7-inch displays, but there's a $200 price difference between them. Oh, and the Apple Watch Ultra. Yeah, there's a lot, but that's why I came here to sweltering Cupertino. Oh, I will take a cooling towel. The most refreshing thing Apple did and announced today. I have braved the heat and a lot of people to help you understand these new iPhone 14 models. Let's break it down, going from the most affordable to the most expensive ever. Let's start with the $799 iPhone 14. It looks a lot like the iPhone 13, and 12 for that matter, with the same 6.1-inch OLED screen. What's better? Well, the cameras, at least according to Apple. The 12-megapixel wide camera has a new sensor that Apple says delivers major improvements in low light. Video should also be more stable with a new action mode that will stabilize your footage. One of the cooler things that I can't demo here is a new emergency SOS via satellite feature. All of the iPhone 14 models can make calls using satellite technology. That is when there isn't cellular connectivity. It won't be out until November though. Speaking of the iPhone and emergencies, the iPhone 14 models also have a car crash detection mode that will sense if you've been in a crash and alert emergency services. Yeah, there's a lot of new buy this or die kind of features. Also, completely gone, the SIM card slot. Next up the chain, the iPhone 14 Plus, starting at $899. See, Apple killed the iPhone mini in the lineup and added this big 6.7-inch iPhone 14 Plus, not to be confused with the iPhone 14 Pro Max. It's identical to the iPhone 14 with the same cameras and processor, but it has a bigger screen and longer battery life. In fact, Apple says,
the best battery life ever in an iPhone.
But for the best new features, you've got to go up to the iPhone 14 Pro, which starts at $999. You're not going to believe this, but the notch is gone. Kind of. Apple has shrunk down that area where the selfie camera and the Face ID tech live into this new area, which has allowed them to pave the way for a secret place called
the Dynamic Island. The Dynamic Island. The Dynamic Island.
The Dynamic Island.
Yeah, I don't know who on the marketing team approved that name, but the feature is kind of cool. I'm playing this great song by the Imagine Dragons. I swipe up, and it goes right up in here into the Dynamic Island. Then I can set a timer. I swipe up again, and it goes into the Dynamic Island. There's also an always-on display, which I'm pretty excited about. It means that the background dims to just show you vital information, so you no longer need to keep tapping to see the time or the date. And you can always turn off the always-on display in settings. The big deal, the 3 cameras on the back. The main wide camera specifically is 48 megapixels, compared to 12 megapixels on last year's iPhone 13 Pro. The Pros also have new A16 Bionic processors. And finally, the iPhone 14 Pro Max, which starts at $1099. It's really the same phone as that 14 Pro, but with a bigger 6.7-inch screen and better battery life. The event today wasn't only about iPhones. Apple also announced the Apple Watch Series 8, which has a new temperature sensor meant to aid with fertility tracking. But the big deal was the Apple Watch Ultra, which is aimed at extreme sports athletes. Time for a bigger wrist. It has a larger 49mm titanium case, new action buttons on the side, a built-in scuba diving computer, and 36 hours of battery life. So now you know which iPhone is which, I think. But which one do you get? Well, you'll have to stay tuned for our full reviews to find that out. The eye towel. No battery needed.